Hi everyone, this is a kdrama about a guy who has an unusual power. When he touches the skin of a person or object, he can see their memories. It is a South Korean drama called He Is Psychometric. It is a 2019 television series starring Park Jin Young, Shin Ye Eun, Kwon, and Kim Da Som in the lead roles. The series has a nice romantic side, very cute and fun, but there is also an element of serious crime, much darker and quite serious. And as the drama progresses, things get even more serious. This K-drama may seem like a light crime drama at first, but it explores some pretty dark themes, especially later on. In the description and end of the video, there will be a list of original soundtracks. Don't miss it. And of course, this video without spoilers for the ending. If you like this video format, then subscribe and like it. Thank you for attention. Then let's get started. Traumatic episodes of childhood almost always leave an imprint on a person's future life and perception of the world. It's like a scar you try to hide but can't get rid of. And no matter how much you try to avoid accepting the truth, nothing works. The drama begins with a tragic event in the boy's life. The boy's parents died in a fire, and the main character himself was miraculously saved by a security guard and a high school student. We are shown the boy 11 years later. However, thanks to the grief he experienced, Leon received the gift of psychometry, the ability to see a painful memory in a person's life or the last moments of life with a touch. Since then, that same high school student, now an influential prosecutor, has become Anne's guardian and mentor. Strangely enough, Leon can't read one person's past or memories. This is his brother, Prosecutor Kwon. He also escaped during the fire and jumped off, taking Anne in his arms. But Anne sees everything else and, using his abilities, wants to help his brother find the criminals. Leon, despite the tragedy that happened to him as a child, tries to maintain a positive mindset. His psychometrics made him avoid making friends and worry of tactile contact, as he was afraid of finding out that he was being lied toward or taking advantage of his good nature. One day, Leon meets a girl named Eun. The girl mistakenly thought that Anne was watching her in the restroom. Jane is a girl who tries her best to hide her painful secrets. While defending himself, Leon unexpectedly touched her and saw her memories. But he was locked in a police station. He was put out by Prosecutor Kwon's friend, Detective Eun. It turns out that Jane has transferred to the new school where Anne was attending. Despite some aloofness, Leon is a self-confident, attractive guy who often finds himself in an awkward situation and finds adventures. And they wanted to kick him out of school. They thought that he was the one who broke into the teacher's office and copied the answers to the exam. Since he wasn't a good student, he was on the top list after the exam. But during the exam, he looked at another student's answers using his power. At that time, Jane couldn't stay away due to teachers' criticism of single mothers and single fathers, and often said their children were uneducated and stupid. She told the teacher that she would fight a student who broke into the teacher's office and copied the answers on the eve of the exam. The teacher must apologize in response. She did this because she had long suffering from this condemnations from people since her father was unfairly blamed for the fire in which An's parents died. She kept hiding it all the time. An wanted to help Jae-in and live up to his name and stay in school until graduation. They went together to look for the culprit. They eventually found the man who broke into the teacher's room and found who was the pervert who was looking in the toilet. After the fire, Jae-in's life changing a lot. Her father was sent to prison and she was left with her aunt. It turns out that Prosecutor Kwon sponsored her and helped her transfer to a new school, find a house. Prosecutor Kwon did everything on purpose. He helped Jae-in transfer to the new school where An was studying and found a house across the street from their house. He wanted An to meet her and use abilities. At that time, a series of murders and arson had already occurred just like 11 years ago. Prosecutor Kwon and police officer Hyun searched for evidence in the case. It turns out that all these events were connected and everything was done by one person. One day, Jae-in listened to a conversation between Prosecutor Kwon and Leon and learned that he had powers. An denied it, thinking that she would think he was a monster. On the contrary, Jae-in was happy because she needed this ability to clear her father's name. He also wanted to help her, but suddenly Jae-in dropped out of school because everyone in school found out that her father is a murderer. 2 years have passed. Leon takes the law enforcement exam and, as always, wanted to cheat using his power, but the warden stopped him. It was Jae-in. For Jae-in, the incident caused a lot of heartache that she struggled to overcome and eventually led her to become a police officer. The next day, Leon wanted to see Jae-in and went to her work. Suddenly, a parent came to the police station because she couldn't find her daughter. An and Jae-in searched for her for an hour, and suddenly An found the girl's toy and using psychometry saw that a body was hidden on a black suitcase. Likely, they found the girl, and Jae-in thought that An was mistaken. But suddenly An found the suitcase, and there was a woman's body. This case wasn't an isolated one. A similar case had already happened, and this case was led by Detective In and Prosecutor Kwon. Prosecutor Kwon spent all this time looking into the case that happened 2 years and 13 years ago. Prosecutor Kwon is surrounded by some mystery regarding what happened to him in the past. Now, all the people involved in the fire case in one way or another have met after 2 years. Will they be able to find the culprit who ruined their lives? This drama is a serious crime kdrama where all the crimes are connected to the main mystery. This makes each investigation relevant to our characters and their story. As promised, a list of original soundtracks. If you liked this video, then subscribe and like it. Thank you for attention. Have a nice day.